Hello. Hi, Christine.
Hello.
Welcome to a kind of somber and sad episode of Double Defense as the Rangers season has unfortunately come to an end. We have reached the end of the road for the Rangers Stanley Cup run. It was great while it lasted. It was sad when it started to slip. And you and I got front row seats. Well, not really front row seats, but kind of back row seats to the fall. How are you feeling this week?
I'm fine. I'm fine. So it's all good. I think we've had time to mourn, and now I think I'm in what's it? I don't know what the stages of hockey, playoff grief are.
I think it depends on what
So,
point your team makes the exit because I definitely think I was in denial for a little while. And then I think I was in acceptance today when I went on to bovadasportsbook.com and did not see the Rangers there, unfortunately.
I know we
So
had some good. Well, we were getting good odds, and it's again looking back at that. I wonder. I don't know. Again, I'm not really a betting person, but I probably, we probably should have thought about that because um, the odds on Bovada have been, and other ones that were just kind of flipped. And honestly, they worked out, the right way. We kind of had two series mimic each other, and I think, again, I'm in the assessment phase, but also I'm like, great. Now, as a podcaster and somewhat having to report on hockey, not just the Rangers, I have to watch two teams I really don't want to see win a cup, to be quite honest. I'm
yes.
very conflicted, because like one team's got someone I like and then someone I don't like, and another team just beat us. So I'm like, there's a lot of conflict in there. As the series goes on, it will be what it will be. The best team will win. And I'll be happy for most of the people that are on the team.
Most of them. Not
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 really
all
all
of
of them,
them.
I don't think. But in the sport of hockey, I think we have to kind of let things go and kind of and move on. And so it's funny, seeing everybody. I mean, they're already trading half the team.
Yeah.
The memes have come out, the anger's being released from people. I'm like, people, get it all out. Just get it all out, because you start complaining again about the beginning of the season in just a few months. So the complaints just recycle themselves. And I guess I'm resigned to say whatever makes you feel better about anything. But otherwise, I think what's sad for me, I don't know about you, but my sign's gone. The saddest part for me about the end of the season, when it does come, it always comes eventually, one way, shape, or form, is that I have so many things that are Rangers in my house. And I take them down like Christmas decorations, and then I store them away for the summer, albeit it's only a few months
Yeah, I
before
was gonna
they
say
start
this
to go
season is
back
so
up.
long.
I start to blend them in with decorations here and there. But that's kind of my ritual. So I was going around, taking t-shirts off, things and moving hats and decorations and stuff, so that I can kind of store them away, enjoy the summertime, and then and then it's a start fresh moment. So I think it's all good. So with that, going into that, Bovada, I seem to going against the grain. I think I'm seeing more people. I did a poll on our site too. A lot of people are looking for the Oilers to win. I think Bovada's got
Bovada has the
actually the Panthers
lead.
right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Panthers have home ice advantage, and I'm favoring them over the Oilers myself. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think the Panthers are going to win. I am pulling for the Oilers. I actually have a lot of Oilers friends. So I'm excited for them that they've made it. I also, I still want to go back and really do a full conspiracy theory episode. Maybe we'll do it over the summer about how the
On the
Rangers,
refs?
about how the
Right?
Rangers and the
Right?
Oilers, that's a different
Uh,
one. How the Rangers and the Oilers are actually the same team. And it's secretly the exact same organization. I have a bunch of theories. I will go into that at some point. But I think it would be nice to see the Oilers win this. The Panthers has really pissed me off. They pissed me off while being there. I mean, it was a lovely experience to be there. I thought the fans were very nice. Obviously, this series was very frustrating. And now I feel like I have a personal vendetta and just want to watch them lose. So I think
I think that's the consensus, because when we were in the match, when we were meeting with people in Florida and coming back and stuff, it's funny because everybody was saying, no matter who wins the East, we will easily overtake the West. And the minute we lose, everyone's like, the Oilers are going to win. So I'm like, where did all you people go? I mean, because in watching both series, again, they were both even in the way things worked out. I still can't believe the Oilers won a game with 10 shots, and they did it twice. They did it against the Kings.
So this is what I think. Because both series mirrored each other so well, I think the Oilers were the Rangers with puck luck. Like literally, because with this series, and we've talked about this, and we've gone into this in the last episode we do, and also when we chatted to Rangers Ed, the Rangers were never blown out of this series. They were actually really close against the Panthers and had a few things gone their way. I mean, obviously with hockey, you have to create those chances. They didn't create those chances enough. But I feel like the Oilers were the Rangers just on the other side of the coin. So I almost feel like they're picking up from where the Rangers left off, and they can fly into the sunset. And I would love to see Florida try so hard and then lose against a team that won with 10 shots on goal.
Twice. Just remember, they did it twice. They did it against the Kings. I've been commenting about the lack of shots or, on goal for this whole series, which, again, this kind of just proves that every series at the end of every year is its own unique thing. It cannot be compared to anything else. I know people like to do that. Statisticians like to always compare that and provide stats because they have a job to do. And it's just never the same thing. And, I've just been stunned by this all the way through, as you know. So it'll be an interesting thing to watch. It just means really there's a lot of defense, more defense going on. And the testament on to the goalies. So I would like to see. I don't see it right now, but Bovada should have MVPs as each of the goalies, because I don't care how many points McDavid gets with his 80 minutes on ice per game, but these goalies are really all four of them in these last this last round and what's upcoming have been stellar and outstanding. And Bovada, you better up their odds because they deserve it. So and we'll kind of see what happens there.
So I think this kind of goes without saying, but just for our mini Double D-Fense MVP, and we'll do our full award show that will come out later in the summer, where we have our Double D-Fense awards.
Yes, we do.
We're gonna have some extra special ones this year. Oh boy, I can't wait. But MVP, I mean, I think I know where your mind is, but
it was only one.
Yeah,
Igor.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say Miller. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I wasn't. No.
Well, hey, when you can get some guys who really wanted him traded to actually compliment him in the last for probably not getting a penalty, then maybe he deserves something.
So I think we're in agreement. MVP, definitely Igor. How about LVP, our least valuable player? I'm really torn on this one because there's so many people that this could be awarded to.
I don't. There's got to be different reasons. I guess I would say I don't know. I'm gonna go with Trouba. I'm
gonna go Trouba too, with Zibanejad a close second, only because I think everyone had higher expectations. I mean, not that people didn't have high expectations for Trouba being captain of this team, but he made so many stupid plays that really did ultimately cost the Rangers. Zibanejad just didn't he just didn't get up there. And I've heard people talking about getting rid of him, which I think is absolutely mind blowing. I don't think they're going to get rid of Zibanejad.
Stop with that junky talk. I don't care. And you know what? Hey, all you people who are doing that, it isn't even up to you. Talk all you want. You know, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's not up to you. So I'm watching that. So there was a question today, and we talked about it earlier. And then we'll go into the exit day stuff. So they break up day yesterday. But the question was, if we had seen, and there was it was specific to Panarin and Zibanejad kind of stepping up, but it could be just generally in your mind, like, for those that we were talking about that should have stepped up. Had they done that, hypothetically, to your, going to what you like to do, hypothetical question, do you think that would have won? Do you think we would be sitting here ready to go into the playoffs, if, into the Stanley Cup Finals, had they done what you expected them to do, what you expected to see from them?
I will say that categorically 100% yes. Yes.
Interesting. Because my answer is maybe. And I kind of go into more depth. I think that if that first line had stepped up to where, the level we wanted to see them at, where we felt they should be. And I think it would have made a difference if they had done it early in the series, won at home. We would have won the first 2 games and gone over. I think that would have made a huge difference. I probably would have said yes, we would be here. However, I also feel that the way that the Panthers played, that had we upped the effort, they would have matched it and gone that little step beyond. So I definitely think it would have been even closer, as close as it was. I don't think I could have really called the outcome, and I don't necessarily think we would have done it either. I think that the Panthers would have stepped up their effort. I think they controlled their effort enough to keep it, in match with ours, and just, a tad better. Part of that, was skill and experience, and a lot of it too was luck, so because it was just always that close. So yeah, that's my opinion on that.
I just feel like you could have seen, you could see the times on the ice that the Rangers fell apart or made a stupid move that directly led to the Panthers scoring. So that's where I think that they had a really good chance. And that's what makes this one hurt really bad. In a couple of years ago when they went, as far as they had, it wasn't expected. The team was okay. This team was good. This team had shown that heart, that grit, that come from behind attitude, not only through the entire regular season, but for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. And, obviously, and we'll get to some of the exit interviews, because it just looked like they were struggling. And
now we know why.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and let's talk a little bit about that, about, who's been hurt, what sort of the feedback and what you've been reading.
Yeah. So a couple of surprising things. We've got, we'll start with Fox, so there were a couple of times where I thought, or we were talking about him with being a little slow. I think, shout out to the Eds. We were kind of talking about this. I think they were kind of onto some of these and kind of seeing it where, he had a knee injury earlier and he had, in round 1 had another collision that kind of aggravated it. So that, I could kind of see that now that we know. And then you have Trouba, who was out mysteriously in March, right? He just disappeared. And we learned he had kind of broken it, his ankle. So, and to clarify this, because everyone's kind of passing it around that he was skating on a broken ankle, it was clearly clarified that it happened back in March. Basically, a chunk of his bone came out like a kidney bean. That's a pretty big chunk when you think about it. But it was according to him, it was on a non-bearing weight bone, so he could skate on it or walk on it. But when you're in a tight boot and you're skating around, it was uncomfortable and kind of, can hinder your performance and, where you're not able to do the things you want to do. So, yeah, that comes into play as well. And not all of it, but when you start talking about multiple injuries within the team and they're all on the ice together playing through these, these things that, they felt, we just don't know how much. We can only speculate. So we have Trouba, we have Fox. VC was playing with a separated shoulder, and Lindgren had a cracked rib. So
I'm not surprised about Lindgren. I'm surprised Bovada doesn't have like an over under on how many bones Ryan Lindgren would break over the course of the Stanley Cup.
So
that would be an interesting bet.
So those are the injuries, and it's interesting because, to be honest, like this is the first time I really paid attention to the breakup day. And, a couple of years ago, I don't know when they started doing this, but it was interesting to kind of pay attention, listen to some of their interviews. They're talking about Igor asking for more money. I love how stinking cute he is. And saying, I don't speak English, which is also his response to, dealing with Chuck's chirping at the goal. So he's got a great sense of humor. It's good. And you know what? If you ask for more money, you give it to him. You find a way, you give it to him.
Yes, you do.
So we have that. We have Rempe was also interviewed. So with his skills. So I think he's going to be the one to watch, come next season and seeing what kind of chances he's given. He was talking about, I guess he's road tripping at home, and he's looking at working on his skills, and, he's been a 3 to 5 minute, player. That's been his ice time. So he's looking, his goal is to play 8 to 10 minutes and, and get up there and also kind of hone his fighting skills. He's ready, so, one of the biggest complaints was that we weren't physical enough. And if we were, then, we're thugs because, it's just really true. But, so that could add a dimension if he knows how to control, because that was a big thing we saw. It's like he wasn't really, he was gangly in his.
Yeah, exactly. He's a big puppy that just needs a little puppy training.
Yes, and that's okay. So he's got that. What else? So, and a couple of other, so there's a video of Trocheck comforting Igor, which is really super cute. So, not only do we have this team cheerleader now, that's come aboard in the last couple of years, but he's also the team comforter and, the pep talker. So, that video where he's comforting him, he's just letting him know that, he deserves so much more and that he's, he played great and that's good. So, look, I was saying we're fans, we're spectators. And that's all we can do is cheer and root and hope and, and complain, and whatever, and see the good in it and just try to really enjoy it. But to these guys, you got to know it's their dream, to do it. And it's their job, so you can take away all that. It's their job. So we are looking at, like Lindgren is, he's looking to be an RFA coming up, but he's also talking about wanting to stay. Kako doesn't sound so sure. He doesn't really know his fate. So I think with all the talk of him being very like our kind of a top commodity in a trade, it sounds like he may realize that that's a possibility.
I think Kako is going to wind up on another team and have an incredible career. I just think this is not, he didn't find the for whatever reason, this was not the right chemistry for him. But I think he will go on to some really great things.
That's a high possibility. I mean, he's one of my favorites. So, and wherever he goes, we'll still be a fan, but I kind of see that kind of based on the interview. I think that's, again, they had other people and coach talking about, what they're doing and Kreider, saying that, they can win it. I think they're just, we talked about how close they are and every year they come closer. 2 years ago, we got this far, but 2 years ago, we didn't win the President's Trophy. So we are that much closer each year. So, so there's a lot of hope and going into the next season. And, I'm hoping that because they reached that level, that a lot of the pressure in some of these, numbers or milestones that they hit is off of them, because I kind of felt like we saw that along the way too. When they hit a streak, I think Panarin hit a point streak, and then I think the pressure gets him on that. So hopefully we can take away some of those.
Yeah,
if that enjoy it.
Yeah, like maybe that next year that matters less, and it's more of a focus for the Cup run. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about this, and I've had some chats with friends about how the Stanley Cup finals or the NHL playoffs don't really mimic the regular season at all. They're very different, and it's almost a completely different mentality. So maybe there's just something, especially as we get toward the end of next season, and we're already thinking, a year ahead. But maybe there's a different mentality that they can get into if they're not so worried about those like smaller records. Okay, they did that this year. Maybe next year it's sort of a different focus of how do we get healthy, stay healthy, and make a run for this Cup, which is what all the fans really want at the end of the day. I don't think anyone cares about, how many, maybe they do here and there. And I'm sure Bovada has, some interesting stats on, point streaks and things like that. But, outside of that, it's all about the Cup, man. All about it.
All about or, look, you were even talking, I don't not disagree. I agree with you that the real true playoff series run is the ECF or the West Coast finals. So because these are the teams you're playing most of the year. These are the ones these are the ones you have to beat.
Yeah, these are where the rivalries live. Is the ECF.
Yeah. So that's where you want to kind of hone your sights, and if you can hone it to make that your milestone to hit and beat, then I think that the Cup is just an added bonus, because you can't really assess equally like when they match into the Stanley Cup, because you've only played the team twice, and they're going just by how they played other teams. I mean, that's that's why I get frustrated in these finals where someone may be scoring a lot of points and getting a lot of credit, and and being recommended for MVP, and if they had played the Panthers, it would be a whole different story. So that's why I don't like those, because they're not comparable. They're dumb.
Yeah.
So but just as we go in on Saturday, plus the other thing is I don't like the fact that they all get a break. I think there's like a 3-day, because I know it's more, we've kind of come to the age of television and scheduling and stuff. So I also feel that these guys should be playing, just continue play, because that's part of, putting it together is like you're really exerting your effort, you're playing through things. But when you have a week off, to rest, recuperate, and sleep and be fresh, we can add that into certain conspiracy theories, because that TV wants it to go longer and or maybe shorter. Basketball.
I bet if there was a New York team playing, they want it to go longer. I can't imagine that Edmonton and Florida are going to be like the hotbed of ratings. I mean, I've been seeing the ratings, and the ratings are really high for the Eastern Conference Finals between the Rangers and Florida, and I'm sure that is because of the Rangers. I am sure that is not because of Florida. So I don't know how the finals are going to do. I'm going to guess they're going to see a big dip in numbers. The other interesting thing, I don't know if you saw this, but this is geographically the furthest apart two teams in the Stanley Cup Finals have ever been. It's almost 3,000 miles between Edmonton and South Florida and Sunrise, Florida. So there's going to be so much travel back and forth. It'll be interesting to see how this finals play out.
Kind of hope their ankles get swollen.
Tired. Yeah, maybe they'll have a delay in Houston.
Leave on the plane. It all starts on Saturday. It's going to be fantastic, regardless of, again, I'm so conflicted. I mean, Knoblauch's in there. I'm so excited for him, but I just wish he had a different team. And then the Panthers, yeah. And and I'm definitely I'm going to speak my mind. I am not a Corey Perry fan, and I know that everyone wants him, and I'm like, nope. So obvious reasons. So he can go. And that's another reason why I kind of don't want them. Sorry, fans. Sorry, Colin. Sorry, people I know. That I'm just not rooting for the Oilers. I am going to root for the Panthers.
Yeah.
So how do you think it'll go? Do you think it'll – I think it's going to go 6 games.
I think I have what I want to have happen, what I think will have happen. I think it's going to be Panthers in 5 or 6. I would be surprised if this goes to 7. And also to the person who told me I should quit my job to watch game 6 or 7, I didn't. Thankfully, I still have a job, and I'm probably not going to watch it. I'll be honest. I don't know. I'm just maybe I'm still feeling a little bit down. As you can see, I'm DDF. It's not Double D-Fense today. It's definitely depression funk. I'm just, I don't know. I'm not feeling ultra motivated right now. I think I'm still in the, what is it? What are the stages of grief? Denial, anger, depression.
I think we might have done this before, but I think we did. Wow,
that's problematic. Next year, I do not want to be doing the stages of Rangers grief.
I think we're going to have to find that and post it. I think we did the stages of grief. If not, we're going to find it and we'll post it.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's just a reminder for everyone. We are all going to get through it. Hopefully, don't dwell on it. Let it, again, I did this post right after people are still complaining. Someone's like, just get over it already. Someone's like, what did they say? Like, who are we going to do this? Or what should we do? And I'm like, how about you just go and enjoy your life for a little bit? Just go and do that. Life goes on, and that, these guys are already enjoying, their time and their families, and already think about, what they're going to do. And that's what they should be doing. We should not be worrying about it.
And I'll tell you, Bovada also has bets already for Stanley Cup 2024-25. So we can already go on there and start having a think about next season. What I'm really looking forward to, and maybe, just to wrap up, we can kind of share what we're looking forward to next season. I'm looking forward to seeing the schedule. I'm looking forward to hopefully us getting to a game in maybe a new city that we have not been to.
Definitely.
I think there's seeing what the Utah team will be named, if they will be named anything. I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. I'm excited to see what changes the Rangers make. I think that there will be changes made in the offseason. I would love to see Trocheck get the captaincy. I have not agreed with the Trouba C from the very, very beginning. I'm not saying they would get rid of Trouba, but I'm saying I think a few things need to shift around. And that I will leave it. I will leave it at that.
If they evaluate, I'm looking to see what Rempe will do. So that's going to be a hashtag. We have our shirts, and
yes.
We need hats. so I'm actually looking forward to what we can do over the summer, because we have all these ideas and putting in there. And before we end this, I'm going to read this quote from Tyler Seguin, who had a fantastic thing to say about the Stanley Cup too. But what I'm just looking forward. Just kind of already said it. I'm hoping that, we hit so many milestones, even though, we had a couple of losses in a row, or we didn't feel Igor was playing at his best, and when Quick jumped in. I am looking for Quick to play and break his record and hit 100, or is it 800? Whatever it is. So he's there, and this should be the season to do it. So do not touch him. Let him stay. And we also have, a good first round draft pick. So we do have the draft coming up soon in Vegas. So actually, I'm going to see, what we can do about getting there, to see it, which would be fun. I don't know. Hopefully it's not when you're traveling. We'll double check it. So, and I'm with you on that. I think we had such a fantastic time going to Florida and, and checking out a new place. I've done 2, this past season, I also was in St. Louis, which was super fun. So we're expanding the arenas, between the two of us, and it'd be fun if we did it together. We had so much fun doing it together. So we have to take Double D-Fense on the road, and, definitely looking forward to kind of talking with some people and seeing who's doing road trips, and definitely, throwing it out there too, for when the Rangers come to LA. They play LA, they play Anaheim, and they play Vegas all together.
And usually San Jose around the same time, although sometimes they split it up a little bit. So we'll see how that goes.
that's always a fun road trip that we definitely, have done 2 years in a row and will continue to do. So if you are thinking of traveling and planning on doing something, we'll can kind of jump in on the summer to kind of plan some trips, and definitely when the schedule comes out, go over opportunities, to do that. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. It's just, again, enjoying another season. I don't feel, look, I'm comfortable we're going to get as far as we did. And then it's going to kind of go back to square one, when we come back in there. If they are able to do what they need to do, they're it'll be great. So they're, as they're capable. They don't make excuses for anything. And I always feel that the team that wants more, the team that plays just that much better, it is deserved. When you look back at it, it was deserved, even though we don't like it. So we don't have to like it, but let me just add, and do you have anything else? Because I want to kind of close on this, because I really thought it was well said.
I just want to add before we get into that, we are not stopping over the summer. You will be hearing regular episodes of Double D-Fense. We will be bringing you our Double D-Fense awards for the season. We have other ideas planned, really interesting interviews with fun people who are in the hockey world or the hockey adjacent world. We're going to bring you stories about your favorite players, backstories that you might not have heard of. We have a whole history of Madison Square Garden planned. We have a lot of stuff. So please don't think you're going to miss us over the summer. We will be coming out with regular episodes. And then we will be back reporting on the Rangers and how they're doing when the season starts.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do have some homework, but it's going to be fun. And we have some really exciting things coming up in just a couple of days. So just you get used to us. So to close this out, I think I found this, quote after, because also Dallas was eliminated too. It wasn't just us. So, but Tyler Seguin's kind of had a reason why, or had an explanation as to why the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win in professional sports. So give me a break, and I'm going to read this for you, and hopefully you enjoy it and understand a little bit better. Hockey mimics life in very fascinating ways, because both require you to have a sort of blind faith, and knowing that if you put in the effort, when the opportunity arises, you will be ready. And because of the hard work, sweat, blood, and tears donated without a guarantee of victory, this gives you a chance to be successful and win the prize. Now, sometimes hockey and life are not fair, and you get outworked, outlucked, outbounced by the other team or individual. I'm getting goosebumps as I read it too. I've come to realize that there are no coincidences in hockey and life, and sometimes the gods will bless you, and others, they will teach you by giving you the slightest taste of what it could be like. Then we have a choice to either get back on the horse and do it again, or to give up. There is surely a guaranteed outcome if you decide to quit. It's a matter of what you can stomach and what you'd like to live with. And all must suffer from one of two pains: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And for Tyler himself, he says, I know what I'm choosing today, and it's onward. And so with that, there's two acknowledgments we also want to kind of shout out to. One is, Blake Wheeler is talking that he may not play going forward, that his kids are at an age where he wants to be there for him. So we may see, that change coming up, and we are with him all the way. And on the Dallas side, Joe Pavelski has retired as well. Another great to not have won the Stanley Cup. He's played 18 years, and I think he's also the leading goal scorer in playoffs. So all the best to him as well. We put that on our story as we kind of found that out. So, and then we'll see what happens after this, this Stanley Cup, if there's anybody else that not necessarily giving up, but their time has come and to focus on bigger, better things. And we always wish them the best. But until then, yes, I think that's a great sentiment that he kind of talks about, and is really what you see from the player side, which is much different than we see from, from a spectator side. So, with that, I am so excited for next season already. I'll get through watching these next few games, with a reporter kind of tone to it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. And we'll report on it. And then,
I'll let you keep me posted. That was beautiful. I mean, I literally had goosebumps while you were reading that.
I know. I was sitting in the middle. I was
Beautifully said, and a perfect way, I think, to also, say thank you to the friends who have joined us on this adventure really, we're kind of wrapping up season 2. But again, we'll be with you all summer. And thank you guys for joining us on this adventure.
Yeah, stay tuned for some fun. We're working on some really fun guests coming up. So stay tuned and look out for these announcements. I think they're going to be really exciting.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Have a great week.